Hey Stuart, I have a question.
Resolution.
It's about forgiveness. I've realized recently, conceptually, of course, I agree with forgiveness,
Mhm.
but I realized recently that a part of me absolutely has no willingness to forgive at all. And I wonder if you can give some advice on how to approach that part of myself.
Look, I, 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 I can only say I don't believe that. You know, I don't believe that there's a part of you that simply refuses to forgive anyone, because there's also a part of you that has to move on in your life, that has to grow in your life, that has to open more in your life, become a more loving human being, become a person who lives in the world on the highest levels of what it means to be human. And I see that part of you. And I can't believe that, you are stuck in a thing that says, I will never forgive anybody. Because frankly, look, I talk about this a lot, and um, you can't move on. You can't change. You're stuck in the mud. You walk around with this pain in your heart for the rest of your life, angry at people because of what they did to you, angry at yourself because of what you did to you, and never letting go, which means that you can never change inside. It's really putting yourself in a prison. And I don't think you want to be in a prison. I think there's something very profound in you that truly needs to grow and develop your humanity. And I won't even say a spiritual life, but your humanity. Otherwise, you wouldn't even have asked me this question. So, yeah, my answer to you is take it a step at a time. Don't get upset because you have a hard time forgiving people or forgiving yourself. Just take it a step at a time, and don't, really beat yourself up because you don't want to do this, because something in you says, I'll never forgive anyone. Don't beat yourself up. Don't feel guilty. Just leave yourself alone and take it a step at a time. I'm sure you can find something inside you that is grateful about something that's happened in your life. Start there. And incrementally, you'll slowly learn how to forgive. And the first person you got to learn how to forgive is yourself. I mean, we've all done difficult things to other people and to ourselves in life. And we cannot hold grudges. We can't, have that kind of pain in our chest all the time because we made a mistake. And getting stronger inside, building a chakra system, developing yourself, using these meditation classes intelligently to do this for yourself. One day, you know, oh my God, I can forgive. I can let go. I can like myself. I can love myself. And it takes time, have patience. But I don't think, Leisha, you would be in these classes if what you told me was true. Could be some voice you heard in your head, because you wouldn't even ask a question like that unless you felt, I need to get past this. How can I get past this? And that in itself tells me that you want to grow. Now you have to leave yourself alone and slowly build a system that's strong enough to do it. Once you get your heart to stay open, you'll have no problems forgiving. Once you get grounded in yourself, you stop being in your head all the time, you'll have no problems forgiving. And I think it's not only you, it's so many people. So much in this world would change if people would just forgive. Most of the wars, the anger, the this, the greed, it's all about anger and a lack of forgiveness and wanting to, stick somebody under your foot and squash them. It's all stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't do anything for life except create a lot of trouble. And it's a product of people not having developed a system in themselves that is strong enough to truly be able to forgive. I mean, everybody wants the same thing in life, really. Nobody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to love and be loved. That's what people want. I mean, everything we strive for, we get a job, we make money. What is it supposed to do? It's supposed to make us happier. It never does. We get married, we have relationships, we have friends, we have social this and that. It's supposed to make us happy. But it's not going to make us happy unless we build an inner life that is strong enough to keep our hearts open. And then even the things you don't like in life can make you happy because they force you to grow. I hope that's clear, because it's really an important part of this meditation. Nobody is going to get spiritual enlightenment until they develop their humanity. We're born here to learn that. That's why we come here. How to get free, as I said the other day, of this stupid thing called karma. I mean, I don't have all the answers. The one thing I have learned in life is what works for me. And I do it. And I don't ever forget that. What works? What helps me to do the things I talk about? What has built a system inside me that's strong enough to live that way? And what makes me realize, look, how can I ever be happy if I'm holding grudges against everybody? People angry at what people do. And it's easy to do that. There's so much stupidity in the world that, it doesn't take a great genius to be unhappy. I mean, there's so much in the world that is so negative and crazy, and it takes an amazing person to say, I can build a system that's strong enough to get past all that stuff, to where it just bounces off of me. I don't get wrapped up in it. I don't get attached to it. It doesn't matter what people did to me 10 years ago. Doesn't matter to me, honestly, what people did 2 weeks ago, a day ago, 10 minutes ago. I don't care. What can I do to learn from it to grow inside myself? You got to forgive in order to do that. Otherwise, man, you're going to walk around with a lot of bullshit in you that you're taking on from other people. Because most people have no idea how to do what I'm talking about. And that includes family, that includes friends, that includes business associates, it includes, you know, consciousness is a rare thing. It's a great treasure to have consciousness. So, Alicia, just take it a step at a time. I mean, if I like you, you can like yourself. You know, I have no problems liking you as a human being. Now you have to learn to like yourself. And that's really 75% of the battle right there. Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart, Flora is here.
Yes,
Can we force ourselves to forgive?
excuse me?
Can we force ourselves to forgive?
Yes and no.
Hmm.
Yes, you can force yourself to forgive. No, because real forgiveness comes when you change inside. That's when you really, when it's an organic process of change that takes place inside a human being that enables them to live their everyday life on a different level. Then forgiveness becomes permanent. But you look at somebody who's in your family, all right, I got to forgive them, I'll forgive them. And then 10 minutes later, there's something terrible and you're already angry at them again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's forcing yourself to forgive. But when you grow inside and develop a system that's strong enough to keep your heart open and you forgive and it becomes permanent. The things that people do don't bother you anymore. Even the things that you do don't bother you because you learn how to get to learn from them and grow and to get past them. But you know, you can, if somebody does something and it upsets you, force yourself to forgive them. It's better than holding it. But say, okay, I got to grow. I really have to grow. That's what they're teaching me. That's what these people are teaching me. I need to grow in my life. And if you start looking at people that way, you're going to be less angry at them. They're your teacher. You wouldn't react with lack of forgiveness if they weren't there to teach you how to forgive. So then instead of being angry at them, you can bow to them and say thank you. Well, you don't have to say it out. You can just in yourself say, oh my God, look what they're teaching me. Look what these people I don't like, what they're teaching me. I mean, I even, working to develop a T-shirt now that says, I like the people I don't like. I don't even like, because they make me more human. And it's true. Does anyone else have a question? I hope it's clear what I'm talking about. Because we have to live with ourselves every day, We live with ourselves, as I've said many times. The only person we live with 24 hours a day is ourselves. And if you don't learn to forgive yourself, you're going to be living with an enemy all day. Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart, this is Sarah. Is building your chakra system and an inner life an aspect of expanding your internal capacity so that you can like rise above situations, well, that tend to shut me down, at least.
Well, a short answer to a long question. Yes. Yes. That's what it's all about, Sarah. Yes. And don't beat yourself up because you fail to do this. Continue to grow, and one day you'll have no trouble doing it. I'm sure you do it a lot better now than 5 years ago. Even to ask that question tells me you're doing it better now. So yes, that's what this is about. Getting a system inside yourself that's strong enough to live that way. And I know you have people in your life that are very difficult for you, Sarah. I know it. My heart goes out to you because of that. But let them be your teacher. Every time you get upset at them, say, no, they're teaching me that I have to grow. Every time they do something that, disquiets you, gets you upset, that no, they're my teacher. They are my teacher. They're telling me that I need to build the kind of system you just asked about. And then you won't be upset at them. They're teaching you. You haven't arrived yet, which is all right. None of us have arrived yet. We're all in the process of growing, learning.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question?
Yes, I have a question, Stuart.
Yes?
How can we open ourselves for healing here in the class?
By just doing the meditation exercise and taking in the Shakti, the energy. The first week I studied with my teacher, Rudy, he talked endlessly about how people in the world are spiritually starving to death. They don't have a system inside that can take in Shakti, that can take in energy, and they're starving to death. Well, this meditation is about building that kind of system that enables you to take in the Shakti. That will heal you. It will heal you inside. Your heart will open. You'll get grounded inside. Your throat chakra will open. You'll be able to communicate on a better level. The mind will be quiet. You'll heal yourself. Otherwise, people, they truly are spiritually starving to death. That's the biggest pandemic in the world. COVID can't even get close to spiritual starvation in the world. People are so hungry. And yet they don't do anything to fix their inner life so they can receive that spiritual energy. When I met Rudy, I was starving to death. And when I heard him talk like that, I knew he was talking to me. And I understood that I need to do the work on myself to get strong enough inside, to overcome that epidemic of spiritual starvation.
Stuart, when I came to your classes, I didn't came to have a spiritual life. I didn't consider myself spiritual. I came because I needed to heal myself.
Good. Good. And Galit, you are building yourself. You get what I teach. Now have a little patience for it to become permanent inside you. I mean that. As I've said a million times, I'm not interested in whether or not people believe in God if they believe in a spiritual life. I'm not interested, you know? I mean, I'm only interested, do you want to grow? Do you want to be a happy person? Do you want to have a wonderful life, a joyous life? You want to be able to see how sacred everything is in one's life without turning it into a religion. And then you see what happens, you know? People change. And I'll tell you, Galit, you have to be able to start laughing at yourself a little bit. Don't take yourself so serious. You know, life is a little bit of tongue in cheek. It's a whole lot tongue in cheek. You got to be able to laugh at yourself, and you have to be able to, okay, I made a mistake, I'm this, I'm that, I have a difficulty with, all right, I can grow. And you are growing, dear, you are, so don't beat yourself up.
Took me a long time to forgive, Stuart. Took me a very long time to forgive.
Me too.
And only when I felt that I'm healing myself, that process could happen. And it's a path. It's a long way to go. And you know,
Look, you've taken the first major step in that direction.
everybody that comes here, you know, class after class after class is, you know, it's amazing. It's not easy to be here.
I know, trust me. I come to more classes than anybody here. Trust me, it's not easy. You're going to be sitting here 7 times a week doing this. I mean, it takes a lot of growth, and I've grown enormously because of this. And I'm grateful to each and every one of you for being here, for coming here. And I mean that. But you got to realize, yes, it's not easy. And I do this 7 times a week. Now, next week, I'm taking a vacation. I need a vacation to get away from the computer. And it takes time. It takes, when you begin to grow in yourself, time becomes irrelevant. It's irrelevant. One lifetime that we have, when you think about it, it's like a piece of dust. It's like a grain of sand on a beach compared to the infinite nature of time. But if that grain of sand becomes precious and it's full of joy and it's full of love, and it means the whole beach transforms itself. But it takes time, you're right. But time can be a friend and time can be an enemy. Most people are very afraid of time. What does it mean? I'm getting older. One day I'm not going to be here anymore. That's what time means to most people. And it scares them. When you're growing in yourself, every moment becomes precious in a way where it truly, you understand the sacred nature of living in the world and how precious time is and how much we can learn if we use time consciously. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, I hope it's clear what I'm talking about. I know it's not easy, and I can tell you very honestly, it hasn't been easy for me. It really hasn't been. I tell you, the stuff I've been through in my life to test Stuart Perrin as a human being and as a person who truly can open and forgive and learn how to do that, it's been miraculous. So have patience. I mean, Rudy said it better than anyone. You know, it takes 9 months to have a baby. You know, it takes 1 second to die. And it's true. And then it takes a lifetime to learn how to raise that baby. It takes 9 months to have.
It's true. We have children and to take care all the time, all my life.
The hardest job in the world is raising a child. I mean that. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay. There'll be class on Thursday, and then, as I've been announcing, on Saturday, I'm going away. So the next class after that will probably be not next Tuesday, but 2 Tuesdays from now. Because the week that I get back, I'm having a retreat that weekend. So do your work inside. It's important to learn how to work on your own as well. And then the classes will resume 2 Tuesdays from, well, they'll be on Thursday and then 2 Tuesdays from now. God bless you all and thank you.
Thank you,
bless
Stuart.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and you all have a wonderful day. And, you know, every one of you fits right into my heart. And there are no likes or dislikes, and each one of you is different. And there has to be a place in me. Otherwise, I couldn't do what I do. For every single person that attends these classes. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We love you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.